beauties. Casey here. Welcome back to my channel. Look at my new background. It's giving cozy spooky because Halloween's all year round to me. But basically I just needed to take this chaotic ass space and make it into something pretty. I was sick of seeing clothes behind me because it wasn't really aesthetically pleasing. I tried putting up TikTok lights. They lasted like 2 weeks. Thank you, Walmart. I don't know why they didn't work very well for very long because they were plugins. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I took a little bit of a hiatus, and I think the last step to coming back to filming and posting regularly, hopefully, was to make this space into something that I would be happy with again. So anyway, if you like indie makeup, if you like spooky, sparkly, multi-chromatic greatness all year round, then you've come to the right place. So today we are playing with a palette that I have been dying to get my little raccoon fingers in. And it is by one of my favorite indie brands that really had such an instrumental hand in starting my love for indie makeup. But that is Adept Cosmetics, and this is the Samarian Sunset palette. Like, look at this, and this is vegan leather, faux leather. Look at this packaging. Like, all of their newer palettes have been in this format, and they've redone some of their older palettes to have this packaging, which their other palettes were pretty, but this is just, I like how the whole line has the same, idea for packaging. But anyway, this is her. Ta-da! Sorry if I blinded you. I'm gonna insert some of my product photography, but with the lights it's probably washing out some of the colors, but I mean, like, you can see how sparkly. So there are 15 multi-chrome or duochromes in here. I don't know which is which, but I don't care. And then the 5 mattes, which are neutral leaning, which I'm so happy about because I have been such a basic bitch all summer. It's been so freaking hot in Georgia, and I always leave myself no time to get ready, so a lot of times I have to do basic looks. And you can do basic with color, but sometimes neutrals are just easier. So anyway, this intro has been so long-winded, but hey, I'm back. If you like my long-winded intros, great. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you like indie makeup, if you like the look or looks I'm going to create. Roll the footage. Okay, we're back. I am browed. The brows are browing, primed, and taped so we can get a little snatch line because I have like 20 minutes to do this look. So I think we're gonna do something pretty simple today. My simple might not be the same as your simple, but like, my simple includes a couple of mattes and usually some multi-chromes and some wings and lashes, obviously, always lashes. And shoot, I don't know what I want to go in with because this palette is just so freaking pretty. I think we're gonna start with Jalad, don't know how to say it. This yellow, it's like a very pastel, like, not very punchy yellow, but it's like light enough that it could be an inner corner matte highlight, possibly. I'm gonna go in with this little domed shadow brush that I got in a set that I don't know where it's from. Probably like Eco Tools or Real Techniques or something. And I'm just gonna dip that into the palette. And we're gonna put that, I'm gonna make sure I don't have any creases in my eye primer, of course, first. And we're gonna put that there. Are we zoomed in enough? I don't know, I think these lights are washing me out a little bit, but that, you can probably see better like that. I gotta work on my setup as far as rearranging the lights, because this is the first time I'm filming again after quite a while. So we'll see what looks nice when I play the video back and look at that stuff. But that's pretty. It gives me just what I need, just a little bit of lightness and brightness on the inner third of my eyeball. Okay, so I'm gonna take I think a combination of Positronic Net and then Delta Quadrant for the outer half here. I'm gonna first start with the light orange for this top shade here, and just very light, very bright. I don't know, you know, if this palette is gonna give me a whole lot of darkness as far as the mattes, but I really don't care because I have 5 Adept neutral leaning mattes and I'm happy with that, believe me. Oh, and this is a BH brush. It's just like a shader brush. Now I'm taking Delta Quadrant and I'm gonna stamp that right here in the outer corner and then start blending. Like, they literally are blending themselves. I mean, I could leave it just like that. I'm gonna build it up a little bit. That's the thing with the depth mattes. You can get depth out of one color. You could do a whole one color look and just blend this orange or one of the, you know, the darker greens, which I'm not going to use those today, but you could blend those into different depths. Okay, so now taking the same brush, I'm just going to switch it off, go back into Positronic Net, and just make sure there's no harsh lines there. And that's my mattes for today. Okay, I'm not going to cut my crease just because these colors are so light I really don't need to, but I'm going to take a P. Louise 707-2 flat brush. I have it pinched really, really thinly, and some NYX glitter glue, and I'm going to do one eye at a time just because it dries really quickly. And you want to get it when it's right at the right consistency to put shadow on top of. And another tip is, once I have it placed, I like to either use my finger if I don't have nails on and tap it out and just make sure everything is smooth, because it gives you the most even application, especially with more textured multi-chromes and like flaky shades, which I don't think we're going to use too many textured shades. I think we're going to stick to like 1 or 2 of these multi-chromes because it gives it the best chance to shine. All right, so now we are going to do that tapping out. I'm going to show you with another one of these brushes that doesn't have any product on it. I'm just kind of smoothing everything out, and then over here I'll use my finger to kind of blend the mattes into where I stopped with the glitter glue because it'll be more seamless. Just that little tip has made a huge difference in my eye looks. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the shimmers. And this is a Morphe brush. I gotta get all the crap off of it. But this is my favorite Morphe brush for shimmers. It's very toothy, it's old, it's been washed 1,001 times, but it picks up shimmer like a beast. So, okay, I'm picking up the shade Pack Lead on one side of that brush, and I'm opening my eye completely so that there's no creases. And we're gonna tap that where I put the glitter glue. Tap and swipe kind of, but like when you first do it, you really want to kind of tap it on. And I'm gonna need to probably pick up quite a bit, so I'm gonna get some fallout, but that's okay. And that's why I do my eyes first. Okay, and I'm putting that almost all the way to the inner corner so that that can have its time to shine, because look at that beautiful pumpkin orange. Oh God, that's so pretty. And you could leave it just like that, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take a JS10, and this is such an old brush too. It's another Morphe brush. I'm gonna take the shade Mogue, for my inner corner. This one is a little more like squishy, so I'm having a little bit of a hard time picking it up. But you could, what I'm gonna do is spray it. See how it's kind of flaky on the brush? We're gonna just spray it down so that way I can put it in my inner corner and I'm not gonna get it in my eyes because I do have contacts in, if you couldn't tell. I'm gonna smooth that over pack lid just so it's blended. And then you can take a fluffier brush after it kind of dries down and mess with it more if you want to. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm just kind of fixing that. And that, my friends, is the eye. Ooh, this is horrible lighting, I know. There we go. You can kind of see it there. Let's see. You'll be able to see better when I do both. All right, I'm gonna do both. Okay, I lied. That's not the eye, because I still want to use something on my lower lash line and then maybe use something here just to get some more multi-chromes on my eyeballs. And I don't have a lot of time, but I think I'm gonna take the shade, ooh, maybe Praxis, or let's go with USS Defiant and see how that looks on my finger. Oh, so pretty. All right, let's just put that right here. And it's just gonna give one more dimension. And I literally just went like that in the pan. Nothing crazy. Okay, and I'm just gonna go like that. Add a little bit more so they're even, and that's gonna blend that into that orange a little bit better. Now we're gonna take the shade Praxis, which is this deeper one right here. And I'm not gonna dig too much because this is going on my lower lash line. And I just want it kind of ethereal, however you say it. I'm taking my tape and I already put a little layer of glitter glue. And I'm just doing that to get less fallout under my eye that I gotta clean up after. And I'm being really, really careful because I have contacts in and I really don't want to get any more shimmer in my eyeball. And see, that's just adding a little bit more to the look. And I know it looks crazy with the tape right now, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm picking up more Praxis. Kind of squishing that onto the brush. And I really just used the excess that was on my brush of the glitter glue, a NYX glitter glue, to coat my lower lash line. Sometimes I would just spray the brush. Sometimes I go in dry and get fallout everywhere. But yeah, we're going to do liner, lashes, and a base, and I will be back when I am finished and I don't have this ridiculous tape on me. Well, hello. I'm back with my full face on many, many hours later, and this is the finished product. I'm kind of in love. Not kind of, I'm in love. These shimmers are so pretty. I only used 4 and then I used the 3 mattes that you watched me use. And this look didn't take me very long, and I mean, I could have just put the shimmers on with my finger, but I find that especially with some of these indie shimmers that are a little more squishy in the pan, it's better to use glitter glue. They tend to crease less. I did have to touch it up a little bit since this is many hours after work and it's, you know, been close to like 9-10 hours that I've had this on. But, you know, between sweating my butt off at work and having to touch up my face and just, you know, touching up the shimmers on here, it held up pretty decent. But if I wasn't sweating at work, it probably would have been fine, but my eyelids probably were sweating too, so I don't know. They need to fix the air at work. It's a long story. We had Hurricane Idalia down here in South Georgia that did a number on local businesses, power outages for like a week. We lost power for like 3 days. That's enough for me because your girl needs electricity. Anyway, this is my first finished look with the palette, and true to Adept quality, customer service, fast shipping, this came very well packaged, protected, nothing is broken. I mean, like, if this color story calls to you, or you're looking to try more indie brands and you haven't tried Adept yet, I 100% recommend this palette. 10 out of 10. It's beautiful. I'm going to do some more looks. I may or may not add them into the video. You're just going to have to find out. But I have like 2 minutes to do a look. We're going to do it with this palette. Literally did the lightest blend with that. Now I'm taking micellar water on a Q-tip and just getting the product off of the inner third of my lid where I want the multichrome to be the most intense, and leaving a little bit to frame it, but not a lot. And since the glitter glue gave me problems yesterday because I was so hot at work, and I think because I was rushing and it was still tacky, it didn't want to stick down. I'm gonna use something like Duraline, but I'm not gonna like cite the product. It's like a mixing medium, but I hate this company. I'm just trying to get use out of the product. So if you have Duraline, I tried this yesterday when I came home, and it's like a liquid. I just put it on this P. Louise brush, the same one that I used, the 7072. Tapped it off on my hand so it didn't drip into my eye, and patted this. Really just swiped it over where I put that I was gonna adhere the multi-chromes. And I'm working fast, but I would suggest doing one eye at a time. Now I'm gonna take a Morphe JS 11, yeah, 11, it's bigger, and pick a multi-chrome. I think I'm going in with Trill. It's gorgeous. Really, it would make the most sense to maybe go in with like Risa, the green one, but I don't really want to do a monochromatic look. Okay, spreading my lid, and we're gonna kind of pat and swipe, and that's freaking gorgeous. Like, this is gonna be a very simple look, very achievable quickly. Picked up Risa on my hand just to throw there to kind of tie into the green a little bit more. So easy, like literally. And I didn't put a lot of that mixing medium on the outer third just because I'm going to go back in with mattes too. So I'm going to take Darmok, that olivey green, and just kind of fluff that on just to perfect the blend. Okay, now we just need an inner corner and maybe something on the lower lash line, but I might not even do that. Okay, Hollow Shade Tal Shire. So gorgeous. We're gonna, oh, and Risa, by the way, is the green. I just literally picked up a little bit of that on my pinky, and I'm gonna dot that on the inner corner. Nothing too crazy. Just will catch in the light and add a little more dimension to the look. Beautiful. Okay, now I'm gonna drag that down here, and I'm probably just gonna take a very small pencil brush if I can find one fast. This will do. This is not a pencil brush, but And I think we're going to take the same shade Darmok and just do this on my lower lash line. And I'm going to clean that up with concealer, so. Okay, I'm going to add liner lashes in the rest of my face, and I'll be back when the look is complete. Hello, I'm back, and this is the finished look. Let's see, what's the time? Over 12 hours later. I obviously had to touch it up a little bit because big surprise, it was hot AF again today, and the air's still not fixed at my job. So I melted all day, and I mean, my makeup looks really good for melting off and having to, you know, reapply. But I mean, we can see the star of my face. It's this look that probably took me like 7 minutes, not even. From start to finish, let's just say 10 because of lashes and liner. Anyway, I'll put everything in the description box, everything that I can remember that I did for these two looks. But my base makeup changes all the time because I have an assortment of things and I just try to rotate through my collection. But I mean, I use the same general, you know, mattifying primers, gripping primers, you know, sunscreen's a must because I would like my skin to stay beautiful. You know, concealer, under eye brightener. The e.l.f. under eye brightener has been a bomb, absolutely bomb under eye brightener. But I'm pretty sure that like the combination of things that I have on are pretty good as far as holding up against the humidity in South Georgia and the intense hundreds heat, you know, like high 90s, you know, low hundreds that we've been having. I'm so ready for fall. So ready. I would like to be able to wear a shacket. Like, I have a shacket collection and I have a boot collection, and it's like all I've worn for months now since it's been hot and, like, you know, like oppressively hot. It's been like shorts and crop tops. And don't get me wrong, I love crop tops, but I like crop tops also with sleeves, like, you know, Christmas and New Year's, I've had 2 years in a row where I've been outside in a tank top and shorts because it was still in the 70s. Like, God help me. I'm never going to survive. I'm just going to be a puddle of makeup and multichrome. Yeah. Anyway, through the power of editing, you might see another look in a minute, but it's going to be tomorrow for me. So, toodaloo. Hi guys, back again. Today is going to be my third look with this gorgeous palette, and I've used a lot of the colors, but I haven't used this matte yet, and quite a few of the shimmers. So that leaves Obsidian Order, LAL, and Farpoint that we haven't used, along with Tanagra, which is this one. So this one, that one. I think that's it. But I don't know if that's going to make a really cohesive look based on like what I want to do. I really didn't even want to use green today. I'm so in the fall vibes mood, but not in like the green fall vibes mood. More of like the reds and oranges and just neutrals and then like red. So I've been staring at this palette and I still don't know what I want to do because I'm limited to the mattes and the shimmers, or I was trying to limit myself to the mattes and shimmers that I didn't use yet and only use those. I might cheat. I might cheat and bring in something with a little more depth. Um, just to show like what I would do with this palette if I wasn't using it as a standalone, because I did that yesterday. I did that the day before. Two very wearable, very easy looks in my opinion compared to some of the stuff that, you know, I like to do. I'm going to take this brush, which is a BH XO somebody number 7. Alicia something. I don't know. I never know what the set is. And I'm going to go in with Tanagra because that is the one that I haven't used. I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to stick my brush in there, pick up a little bit, and see how the color, where I want to put it. So I think what I'm going to do is start there. And I use the Juvia's Place primer, the eye primer, along with some concealer to not be so light up into my brows. Because that's a really light, that's number 1, and it's a really light eye primer. So I just kind of blew that out a little bit, just so it wasn't so, like, angular. I'm going to take this Morphe brush. I don't have a number on it, so I don't know what it is. And I'm going to go into the yellow. Jalad, I don't know. And I found out by watching other videos that the Samarian Sunset is a drink. It's a drink on Star Trek. I had no idea. I thought it was like the sunset of a planet, which is what the other YouTuber that I was watching said, but I had no clue. So that goes to show you how much I don't know anything at all about Star Trek. But, and this is light. It's a very light shade. So I'm not really packing it on. I'm just kind of trying to diffuse up into my brow. And it's going to be a grungy, muted look, I guess. Or at least that's the turn that it's taking right now. Like, the first pigment you put on the primer sometimes does set the tone. Like, if you look at the difference, this is more blown out because I went in blending. This one I kind of packed and then just did like a different kind of motion. Like, I know this is a horrible explanation, but like, sometimes you gotta let the brushes feel their way across your eyes to learn the techniques that work and then don't for the type of look you're going for. Sometimes, like right now, I don't really know what I'm going for. I just want to play and blend. So yeah, I like that better. This is more blown out, but I mean, and I can very well just go back and pack that on because that's the beauty with Adept mattes, is they are very, very buildable and blendable. And of the depth. So today I'm kind of just playing and just giving you some more inspo, hopefully. And really, I'm more concerned about here, though, because I'm going to add depth. So I'm just trying to get that faded how I want it. Huge difference. Let me do this to this. Okay, good enough. And now I am taking the Blendbunny Cosmetics Surge palette, which is one of my favorite. We have, you know, a lot of variety in here. But I'm going to take the shade Lush, which is a almost black, that it's so dark and so deep and intense green. It's like a greeny black. And I'm going to take that on this ABH brush, the ones that come in the palettes. And I am just going to add that right there on both sides. And I used the product I had on either side. And I'm just trying to make it a little more even. That's the beauty of blending. Sometimes you really have to take your time, which is something I know a lot of us don't have. So that's why I'm doing something now that takes a little more time, but I did do some pretty quick looks with this beautiful palette. So I made another move, and I'm not sure if I regret it or not yet, but I started taking Lush in. So I guess we're doing something more like a full cut crease, and I'm taking it on that smaller side, like the shader brush side. No, I mean, it's fine. I'm gonna clean this all up anyways. So now I'm gonna take, where's that BH brush? The same brush that I was using before, and that shape's off, so I need to fix that, but we'll start over here so you can see. And I am going to do a little blending work. We've got micellar water on a Q-tip, or Q-tips. Now we're gonna clean this up. I don't know what kind of shape I'm doing, so I'll be back with one eye done. So I forgot to come back and show you, but literally I just did this slowly, you know. Not everyone's eyelids are totally symmetrical, and mine aren't either, so sometimes I have to do a little work to make them look as balanced as possible. It's like eyebrows. Sisters, not twins. And figure out what I'm going to do for the shimmer. Now, the like fluid fix type stuff, like the mixing medium I used yesterday, that I will not name the brand, that worked pretty good. So we're going to do that again. I'm just going to stick a couple drops on there, and it dries pretty fast, so I like to just kind of spread it through this P. Louise brush and tap it, and it also gets the excess off on my hand, which is a better place than in my eye. So, and I'm going all the way out, but I'm not gonna drag it down in a harsh line. I just want that messy kind of edge there. It'll be easier to blend later, and you can't really see because of the light, but I just stuck a little on my inner corner. And you know what? I'll be damned. I'm gonna put it on my lower too and see how that goes. Just take what's left of my hand, and it gets tacky so fast. It's already to the point. Yeah, you can see it's sticking. So that's why I'm doing one eye at a time today. Let's decide what shimmer I want to use. So I think I'm gonna use LAL, which is, I think, this is one of the holochromes. Oh, this brush is blinding because of the light. Yeah, this reminds me very much of Sly Hollow from Touch of Glam, which is like a gold hollow shade. Love it. I love that there's holochromes in here because it makes it more accessible for people that want to just get a palette and really don't want to spend $50 on 2 shades, which I will. I'll do it again. I love like Touch of Glam. Face Glaze Beauty has a similar price point. They have hollows that I have from them. I have some from Glam Shop in Poland. Those didn't survive the trip to Georgia, but I picked up what I could out of the packaging that they were in. I didn't lose very much. My Glam Shop shadows, I did lose a couple of those though. But anyway, and then we're gonna do Far Point, I think, in the inner, and I just picked a little up a Far Point on my finger and then threw it in the inner corner. So we'll start with Far Point. I got enough on there, and we're gonna pack it on the inner. And it's not totally opaque the way I'm doing it. I'm sure I could spray it, but that's fine. Sometimes I like a sheer wash. Alright, and I'm gonna dust that off, and now I'm gonna pick up LAL. I think I'm gonna use my finger on that one and go on the lid that way, and I'll of course fix it with the brush after. I'm trying to get precisely on the line, and it helps having that mixing medium there. It does kind of make finger application, if you don't have nails on, little bit easier. But yeah, let me take a little bit on the, just like the tip of my brush, and just fix it if there's any parts that I missed, and blend that into Far Point. Okay, you can't tell me that's not stunning, like, absolutely. So I'm gonna go back in with that little bit of Lush and just kind of, and I did the same thing with the shimmer with a very light hand, just to mesh them together, and see how that just kind of even further did it. So I'm gonna take that brush on my switch, my color switch, which is a lifesaver. You can get them at the dollar store now, which, so you know, if you don't want to like buy like a Sigma one, or go to Ulta and spend like $7-8, if not more, on them, they have them at the dollar store. Gotta love that. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of Risa here and then probably close it off with one of the greens. What I can do is use something bright on the lower lash line. I was gonna use one of the other shades, but I feel like it's gonna be too Christmas, so I'm gonna leave it alone. Or use maybe the green. Let's see. Can we get away with that? Just like that. Just to give a little more dimension. It looks like the same shade here, but I can tell the difference, but my lights are washing everything out. So you'll see close-ups and you might be able to tell, you might not, but that's okay because I know I used it. So let me see what I'm going to do and I'll be back. Okay, figured it out. We are, and I'll share that moment with you, the satisfying tape pull. I'm gonna use the neon green in Surge as an accent. And that's called Chemistry is the shade. It's the neon green, if you couldn't tell. And I'm just going to dust that all over my lower lash line. Now, it's not gonna come as much of an intense radiant kind of green as it is like on the brush, just because of the fact that it's a matte, it's a neon, and I think that's going to be all the powder in the look. So I'll be back probably later with a finished face. Hello again, friends. You are now transported a few hours into the future. I've had this look on for 6 hours. I would like to say around there. And I actually don't have any foundation on for this look. I just used a combination of, obviously my skin prep was just moisturizer and some vitamin C serum from Relevant. This is the Sun Touchable, and this is the invisible sunscreen, not the Woe Glow. This is more of like, let me see if I can pull some up. Like, it's like a silicone texture, and it feels like very like invincible on the skin or invisible on the skin. So I put that on. I think I added a little bit of mattifying primer, and I go back and forth between this Essence one and then this L'Oreal one, and they do the same thing. This one's a little more hydrating, I feel like. This one has niacinamide, and this one has LHA and salicylic acid 1%. So, I mean, I like them both, but I just, trying to use things up in my collection. Because, like, this, I didn't touch this up at all. I just set with the Trip and Smooth powder from Oma Beauty all over my face and on my under eyes. Then what else did I use? I used the Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener in pink. I think it's pink. It's Fair, the lightest one. I love this stuff. This stuff is so good. It brightens up so nice. Because, I mean, look at my under eyes. And, like, I don't get a lot of sleep. So, I use that. I use the Michaela X Glam Light. And you can see how well used this baby is. I use this highlighter in the shade Starstruck. No, Blinded. It's the green one. I added that on top of my Pixie Chrome Glow palette, Charming Glow. I think I did like, a mix of like these shades to do like kind of like a glowy blush transition. I used the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Blush in Provence. This is a sample I got from Sephora, and I really like the color. It's like a, I mean, it's the color you see on, but I added the Pixie on top of it. It's like pinky peach. It's pretty. It's just sheer. It blends out nice. Like, it gives you a little bit of like a dewy kind of look. I use that. I set it with the Trip and Smooth powder. I already said that. I used a combination of, let's see, the Baby Got Bronze Essence. This is the cool toned one. I think this one's called like Moon Dust or something. It's already rubbed off. So this is the coolest tone one. I use that for like my nose contour and, everything else. Oh, and I use this, actually, this is an eye brightener from Revolution, Makeup Revolution. And it's in deep caramel. And this is like, I was trying to dupe out the Sculpt Tape by Tarte, and it's not like 100% on, but it kind of gives like that, like glowy almost, kind of like it doesn't dry down like it'd be total. I mean, it pretty much dries down matte with like a very satin kind of finish, but I have that on for bronzer and contour. The Cool Tone one was my contour because Cool Tone is contour. And then I actually used, and I've been loving this concealer with the powder that I have. This is the Soft Matte Concealer, the IRL Filter Finish by Revolution. I didn't like stand this when it came out, and a lot of people really liked it, but now that I found a powder that it really works with, this shade C2 matches my skin so well. It's like still bright enough for my under eyes, but it's also like light enough that I could just put it on my blemishes and blend it out. But that's literally what I have on. The only other thing I mixed in there for foundation was just the Fair, the first one. Is it, yeah, shade 1, the Elf Halo Glow. Yeah, that's what I have on the rest of my face. Um, I'll try to remember to link what I had on in the other looks, but I can't promise I'll remember to do every little thing. I'll put what I can. Oh, my lip combo too is the blue Barbie in Glamlight, this color. I think this is like beach ready or vacay mood or something. It's the blue lip kit. I don't know. I have that on. I have on Revlon That Girl Color Stay Suede ink. I have that on to kind of help set the liner in place. And then I put on my favorite lippy ever. Like, I have, when I tell you this is like what I have in front of me right here, and then I have like 14 more of them spread out through the room and then in my my work bag that I bring with me every day. Like, I love this formula. Like, they commented on my IG when I used the shade Peachy, and they said it was made for me. I was gassed. Oh, and the contacts. These are my new favorite contacts. Like, literally love. These are called Firmament Green. And they're like two-toned. They're so comfortable. Like, I've gotten a few PR packages from different contact companies that I've been lucky enough to work with, that I've done just some posts for. And while they're all very comfortable as well, I think these just, there's something about this particular style and then a few of the other ones that I received from Unico Eye. That's the name of the hold please, I'll show you. Yeah, it's Unico Eye, all one word. Um but they're so comfortable. Oh, my lashes are Ioni. I think they're, yep, crisscross cat eye long. And when I tell you that I literally cannot get enough of Ioni, I have been buying my lashes at the Dollar Tree since I found these. They have so many beautiful styles. They have something for everybody. They have half lashes now. I've been using the crap out of those. Like, okay. Like, do we see this? And this literally, is my light dying? I gotta stop getting batteries at Dollar Tree. I'll get my lashes there. I guess I'll have to get batteries somewhere else. But these are all, like, with the exception of like 2 packages in here, these are all Ioni. This is a style. This is the XL Wispy Dramatic. These are some of my favorite. Look for this packaging if you like the same style lashes I like. And then the Ioni High they have right now, same idea, but these I like honestly a little bit more. These are long crisscross, full spiky cluster. The way that they curve is just so pretty. Like, these are the half lashes, like, and this isn't even it. Like, I have a full, huge plastic drawer full of them. Not completely full of Ioni, but like, I have the majority of what's on top is Ioni. And then I have more over here. I have some in drawers over here. Like, I'm an Ioni stan, like, if you can't tell. Anyway, if you liked listening to my rambles for the first time, or again after 3 months of not posting, I invite you to check out my Instagram, because you don't have to listen to me really, unless I'm doing a tutorial. You can check that out. Vanity Case Makeup is my handle across all of my socials. But we're gonna really try like hell to get back in the swing of things. I just needed to align my chi, recenter myself, ground myself, try to develop a better work-life balance, which I definitely still haven't, but I am just like, we have palettes that have been coming out left and right, and I'm doing my best to try to make some money so I can review them for you and give you my honest opinion. And so my opinion is, buy this if you want it. I'll never tell you you need something, but I can say I needed this palette. I needed it in my life. Just for comparison's sake, I don't think any of these shimmers look like anything that we've had other than maybe some from the House of L. But that's another one that would be really, really beautiful, as well as the Heather Austin palette, I think. Hang on, let me grab that. So I really don't see any real similar colors other than just the tones of these. Let me try to not blind anybody. I could just put these down, but I'm just going to be difficult. All right, so the only similar shades, and they're completely different because this is way more flaky and sparkly. I think the particle size is way heavier, is going to be Zor-El, which was literally my favorite multi-chrome for the longest time. It still is totally beautiful. Zor-El compared to Praxis. And this is a much smaller particle size in Praxis. Then the only other like ones that are similar in tone, I guess, would be Erock Zor-El, I think it's called. No, I'm sorry, Cara Zor-El and Trill. And again, totally different. This is like pink and gold, and it's like, let me see if I can swatch it out. And then Trill, which is this one. So this is Trill, and this is Cara Zor-El, and this one has way more gold in it. Let me see. I cannot drop these palettes. Okay, so this one was Trill, and this one is Cara Zor-El. So this is Trill, and this is Cara Zor-El. And my lights are really doing a really shitty job of washing these out and making them look really similar. But in real life, I can see the differences. Cara Zor-El has much more of those larger particles, and the sparkle is heavier in it. As like you can see, this one is, you can even see on my finger. So they're similar, they are, but I mean, not enough to not get the palette, because you have literally 8 other shimmers that aren't anywhere near similar to anything in House of L. And really, I think that's about it. I mean, you have much of more vibrant oranges in the House of L, and then you have Jor-El and Risa, which are totally different. This is Jor-El. This is just a standard, I mean, it's not a standard shimmer. It's a very sparkly shimmer, but let me see. And then this is Risa. Totally different. This is like Ganymede from Terra Moons, and this is more like something else. I don't know anything off the top of my head, but you can see one has gold in it. This has got more gold in it. And this is just straight, like a limey, kind of minty limey shimmer. See, there you go. You can see the gold in Risa. So those would really be the only ones that I would say are somewhat similar. And I mean, I'm sure there's other channels like Millie and like Riley from Seeking Shifts, I think is her channel. They'll probably do better comparisons if they get this palette and they have House of L or any of the other Adept palettes, but I'm just throwing that out there because that was the one thing that came to mind, was there was similar tones, but I think they'd be great companion palettes, so I'm definitely gonna mess with that. I am definitely gonna put those together along with the Heather Austin and this. And anyway, just combine your other Adept palettes with them. You'll have fun. Unique, beautiful multi-chromes and beautiful blendable, buildable mattes from Adept, which is one of my absolute top 5 favorite indie brands. It makes me so happy to have some more neutral colors in the mattes and some colors that I can really, really use and get behind, because I've been in a very neutrals with a twist or some neutral with colorful looks lately instead of just full on neons and rainbow in your face. I don't know what's happening to me, but I'm not mad at it. But, anyways, that was a very long winded outro, as per usual. But thank you for watching this video. If you like this color story, you've never tried Adept, you've tried all the palettes from Adept, no matter what, I think you will absolutely love it. Um, the only, if I was gonna say anything about it, you will probably have to, if you have the same preference as me, you will probably have to pull in some deeper shades for depth if you want to switch up the color combos of the mattes. But I pretty much used almost every shade. So anyway, if you liked this video, comment, like, subscribe. Tell me which palette you're super excited for, whether it's mainstream or indie, doesn't matter. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And just, if not, just leave me like an emoji or something that, signifies that you enjoyed the video. Anyway, hope to see you again sometime soon. And thanks for stopping by. Toodaloo.